Chris here with Armattan Quads. I'm making a video here. It's a tutorial on how to assemble the Chameleon frame. And what I did here is I'm actually using one that's fully backed. So when you receive a frame, it would look like this. This one is a silver version. You can see the silver parts here. And so what I'm going to do is just use only what's included in the package here and go ahead and assemble the frame. So let's get right on to that. Get this open here. Get the main plate out. Go. And here's some goodies. What I'm going to do with this, because I guess I'm quite familiar with this model, obviously, I'm going to go ahead and prepare parts first. So for example, let's start with these here. Here it is, and I can go ahead and peel this off of there. This video will be a little bit long now because I'm not going to use any editing tool. I'm currently trying to get a software for this. I'm used to use Windows and I'm using Mac now. Trying to drop this on there as nicely as I can. I'm way off. Pull that off of there. Try again. Now that's better. There's this one. And this little guy here, you will find the holes don't line up with the holes on the plate perfectly. This is because we have no choice. Long story short is there's only so thin we can go using foam cuts. Okay, when I install this one, I go from the rear. I make sure the rear is lining up with that last cut at the back here. So, here we go. This one is done. Next, I'm going to prepare my cam braces. This and this. And then if I look at my hardware here, you can see that I've got some gear here for my cam braces. And I'm also going to need some 7mm bolts in there. Actually, they're there, I think. Bolts are not labeled, but that's the reason why I'm making this video here, to show you where everything goes. Okay, so these little guys here, you get 2 washers and 2 little bolts. That's for your camera. These nuts will go in here like so. Like so. And then you need to put that into your side cam braces. Put one in first. There we go. And now I want to mirror this. Just put the sock nut in there too, the thumb screw in there as well. There it is. This cam brace is completed. Now I need to mirror this like so. This one will go on this side. There's a left one and a right one basically. this. And here it is. This one is a spare. So let me put that aside now. I'm not going to install the camera today. I'm going to take my two pieces here and a 2.0 drive. This is simply going to go so. My 7mm bolt goes here. I think that's too long now. That's the wrong bolt. Actually, it is okay to use. I think it's 8mm. That's fine. Go. And I repeat the process. Again, I mirror this right here. If you guys have used aluminum parts before combined with carbon fiber, you are going to be very impressed with the tolerance of the parts on this, how perfect the fit is. You will see this as we move forward with this assembly here. Okay, so now I've got the front part made. I've got these prepped. Now I can go ahead and prep my HD cam. Over here. Open this guy too while I'm here. Go. And this is my HD cam here. Now I'm going to need some M2 bolts with this. M2 bolts are here. So let's open that up. Good. Now you've got two M3 bolts there to go on the bottom of the main plate. You've got two countersunk M3. These are to go on top here. And the rest are 5mm M2. And this we need a 1.5mm drive. Grab this like so. Like so. As you can see now, this is butter smooth. You can actually assemble this without tools. That's how excellent the tolerance is on this. So for those of you guys waiting for this now, I think that'll get you even more stoked on receiving this. And I'll be frank, you should be stoked. This thing is incredibly nice. Okay. Okay, important tip. Notice here now we've got 8 bolts. 2 M2s, 2 M2s. We double the bolts on each corner. And basically what this is doing there is actually making these joints stronger than if we were to use a single M3 bolt. That said, these are M2s now. If you have a good drive such as this, right, it's a 1.5mm X drive. If you're going to try and use this now and go reef on these bolts, you're going to break them, for sure. This is M2, so don't go crazy on this now. Remember, you don't need to. There's two bolts there. This is almost just finger tight. It's tight. You can tighten these M2s fairly well, no problem. But if you start reefing on this as you would on M3, you will break the bolt. You won't be a happy camper. So careful. Don't need to over tighten these guys. It's M2. And they're doubled up. Alright, so my plate is then done. We'll put that aside. Now I'm going to be looking for the longer M2 bolts. And they are right here. Actually, before I do that, let's do the stack parts. I'm going to take this here. Those are the nylon bolts for the stack. It's going to go from the bottom in, the recess. And then basically, depending on what PDB you use here, you will want space for your lipo strap to go underneath it. And this is what this is going to provide us with. Now it's just a nylon spacer here. Like so. And your PDB will sit on there. Like so. This nylon stuff, I pretty much just finger tighten that stuff. Go. And then you want to have your PDB, have the little male-female guy go on top of there, and then of course your FC will stack on that. Right, and then you got your nuts. Finish that up and secure your FC. And we usually give spare. There's a spare right here in case you lose one. And then with this, you will also find in your package something that looks like this. These are little O-rings, and they'll actually fit. We use this for soft mounting the FC. Some guys will choose to use it, some guys will choose not to. Basically you put this, I'll show you on one of them here. These are a bit hard to fit on there. Tight, put one like this. Looks like this. Your FC goes on there. Then on top of the FC you put one more O-ring. And then you finish it off with the nut on top. Like so. Now this is not going to be a 100% soft mounting. I would say it's, you know, it does help in our tests and our black box readings. You know, it does help with the vibration. But it's more of a placebo soft mount than an actual real soft mount because the nylon bolt will still, you know, transfer vibration from the main plate to the FC. But if you don't tighten these top nylon nuts too hard and you let the FC kind of float between the rubber bits there, that's when we notice positive effect from using this. But the parts are included, you can use them if you wish or not. Next, I am going to open my longer M3 bolts, M2 bolts, sorry. Okay. And then in this you will find two little O-rings like this. These are VTX antenna O-rings. Basically we have a VTX mount here where your VTX will go in here, anti-rotation. But depending on some VTX, we found that some of them will end up having a loose antenna, whereas others will be tight. So if you're loose, you can use the O-rings, and if you're very loose, you can use two O-rings, one on each side, and that will make it nice and tight for you. So those are provided in case your VTX doesn't go on there nice and tight. You may not need to use them. And now on to my longer M2 bolts. Right here I got 4 of them, and that's to mount these to the main plate. So let's go ahead and do that. Line that up as best as I can. See, the tolerance here is just incredible. I'm tightening this bolt by hand. I don't even need a tool to get the screw in there. Put my second one. Got to line up with my hole here. There we are. Okay, and then likewise, again now, these are M2 boats. You're going to be very unhappy if you go and reef on this and break one of these boats. Do not go crazy on these. And those are probably the four more likely boats to loosen on you with vibration in flight. So it is not a bad idea to look at these once in a while, make sure they're tight. If not, use a blue Loctite, a mild Loctite, and only use a little bit to Loctite these four bolts here. If you would like to, but again, don't go reefing on that. Like if it's M3 now, you do that, you will break the boat, guaranteed. And then when you email me saying you broke the boat, I'll refer you to this video and I'll say, you reefed on them too much. Alright, so this is it. This is how it assembles. Next, we go ahead. These are the bolts that also were there, the longer bolts, 10mm M3. We're simply going to insert our cam mount like this on there. For this, I need a 2.0 drive. There we go. As you can see, once again, the tolerance is incredible. Everything fits like beautifully. It took a while for us to finally release this model, but I did not want to have anything less than that, is what it comes down to. Some of the samples that we had for our Lumi parts were simply not up to snuff, and I was not willing to, you know, do a release that's a hasty release with parts that were not 100% approved and exactly what we needed to have. Now I'm tightening all of these down now, but let me just show you. I'll just loosen them a bit actually. Give you an idea of the tolerance here, how nicely this fits. There you go. Okay. I'm just going to secure these bolts there, just in case I forget later. That's it. Next, I need these two bolts here. Those are cup heads M3 and my VTX adapter. I want to put so. And like so. Those are M3. Those will be a lot harder to strip or break, of course. And that's it. Whoop, my standoff here. Just do it from the bottom. There we go. Okay. Next, not much left to do here. Just put our top plate on. Got our countersunk M3. And then I will put them in there, but I don't screw them all the way just in case, but really you could. That's how good the tolerance is. You can see again, everything fits in like butter. It's beautiful. And then from both, top plate. I mean, can you see the tolerance there? It's it's really impressive. I think when you guys get this and you start assembling this, you're going to be happier than you were, I guess, than you expected to be, because it's really incredible. Okay, again, those are M2. Do not reef on these guys. You don't need two. You don't need two. You have two of them. And tighten these guys at the back. That is it, we're done. With this, these are the spares that came in. They're not all spares, it's your VTX rubbers. Over here you got your soft mount for the FC if you want to use them. You got a spare sunk nut, because these are OEM parts. Spare little parts here. And then you got your cam screws and your tool washer that will go here to secure your cam. And then on top of that we include a couple spare bolts and one more some nuts here at M2, 2 M2s, the size that you need on this in case you lose one. And then we include 16 motor bolts to mount the motors. 4 landing pads. Some of you guys will receive these ones. Some of you guys will receive different ones that are shaped in a dog bone shape. Basically, we ran out of these. This was the first batch. In the second batch, we changed a little bit. And then these, of course, they stick to the bottom of the arm there as landing pads. And you get a cool sticker with it. And if you've been a good boy or good girl, you may get a lollipop with that too. And that is it, guys. This is the assembly of the Chameleon frame by Armattan. I hope this video was helpful. And of course, any questions, any trouble, any issues when you receive your frame, you know where to find us. We'll be happy to help you out if you have any problems. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Cheers.